All right, all right, all right. Well, good morning and welcome to the beginning of another week. And welcome to day 22 and lesson 22. This is a very short lesson and we're going to get through it with some expedience. I promise you. Today's lesson says, what I see is a form of vengeance. What I see is a form of vengeance. Today's idea accurately describes the way anyone who holds attack thoughts in his or her mind must see the world. Attack thoughts. Having projected his or her anger onto the world, he sees vengeance about to strike at him. His own attack is thus perceived as self-defense. This becomes an increasingly vicious cycle or circle until he is willing to change how he sees. Let's just think about that for a minute. When we are seeing with the vision of the past, preoccupied with the past, or anticipation of the future, we are seeing that way because of the way we are thinking. Cause and effect. And so if we're thinking with attack thoughts, we feel justified in our seeing attack and actually taking action. It says having projected his or her anger, meaning projection means something that is thrust onto another. So when we think with attack thoughts, see with attack thoughts, eventually we're going to project them out onto something or someone. And we feel like that the attack is justified, or we are defending ourselves. And so doing that, it's a self-defense mechanism to project your or my attack thoughts onto another. This becomes an increasingly vicious cycle until he is or she is willing to change how he sees. Well,
I didn't get that. Can you try again?
You are excused, Siri. Sorry about that.
Is there something else?
Thank you, Siri. I guess Siri was thinking about me. But it says that it becomes just a vicious cycle of attack, of thinking, seeing, and attacking in self-defense. Thinking, seeing, attacking. And attack can be in many different forms, where we don't see the person in their innocence, or we don't see the person in their pureness. But what we see is based on thoughts that we have. because we've searched our mind, and these, that's why we went through the exercise yesterday and previous day. Search your mind and examine the thoughts. Notice the thoughts that are in your head. Are there thoughts of love, or are there thoughts of hate? Are there thoughts of, oneness, or the thoughts of separation? Just notice them. Notice what you're noticing. Because if we don't go through this process of pausing and noticing, then our triggers will automatically end up in an attack on someone else. It says otherwise, thoughts of attack and counterattack will preoccupy him or her and people, his entire world. What peace of mind is possible to them then? So if our pattern or disposition is to be preoccupied by thoughts in the past or anticipated future, that are thoughts of grievances, or thoughts of being unfairly treated, or thoughts of being perceived incorrectly. It says then the pattern is going to be attack and counterattack in a vicious cycle. We've been in relationships where that's the pattern. It's one battle after another. Why? Because the two are perceiving and being preoccupied by attack thoughts. And you'll never be able to fix it out there in the projection. It has to be at some point that the two pause and realize that this is all happening in their what? Happening in their mind, which is causing them to see in that manner and causing forms of vengeance, forms of attack to occur in a vicious cycle. It is from this savage fantasy. I love the way the Course uses this term. When we get in this cycle of vicious attack or vengeance, it says it's like a savage fantasy. It says it is from this savage fantasy that you want to escape. Who wants to live like that? Who wants to constantly be attacking or being attacked? Nobody. That doesn't bring any comfort to anyone. It does not. It is not joyous news to hear that it is not real. Now the Course is saying that what we're seeing is not really there. We're not really upset for the reason that we think. Remember the previous lessons? That we're not really seeing because we're preoccupied with thoughts of the past, attack thoughts. If that's what the nature of them are. If we are holding grievances, if we're perceiving our brother or sister in a manner that is not their real self, we're just looking at their actions. We're not pausing to examine our thoughts. This is what you get: a vicious cycle of attack, a projection. And no one feels good. That's not a good feeling. It says this can be escaped, and it's not a happy discovery that you can escape out of this. Why? It says you made what you would destroy. We made, notice now, we didn't create, we didn't extend our true nature, but we made this situation We made it. We made it through our thoughts and through our seeing. We made it. It says we made it through our thoughts and through our seeing, and we find that it can't be escaped. It said, you made what you would destroy. Everything that you hate and would attack and kill. Everything that we hate, everything that we would attack, we made it. We made the thing that we would destroy. Wow, that's the power of our creative ability. That's the effects of not examining our thoughts. That's the effect of not seeing out of purity. Remember, we mentioned last night that to the pure, all things are pure, but to the defiled, nothing is pure. A person that is constantly filled with thoughts of attack, thoughts of vengeance, thoughts of hate, thoughts of murder. Sometimes we have the ability to get to the point where we just want to just take somebody out, or wish they would take themselves out. Same thing. These are the thoughts that have the ability to flow through our consciousness. They're not our personal thoughts, but these thoughts are out here for anyone to give attention to and agree with, and to enter into a vicious cycle. Find yourself always on the attack, always seeing something wrong, only seeing what is wrong in your eyes. How can you have peace? How can you enjoy peace if that's the mode of operation? It says, all that you fear does not exist. That's right, it does not exist. You're making it up. You said, but you don't know what they did to me. You don't know what they said to me. You don't know what they think about me. Well, they're making it up too. So now we're just dealing with illusions on top of illusions. And when you put illusion on top of illusion, you get illusions. And what does illusion look like? Attack, projection, thoughts of anger and separation and division. And so our whole world is seen in that vein. And it's all happening in your little house. And it all can be stopped. It all can be destroyed. And it only can be stopped and destroyed by the one who made it. And that would be you and me. Look at the world about you at least 5 times today. Look at your world. Examine it. Pause. Examine your world. Look around you for at least 5 times, for at least 1 minute each time. So for 5 minutes today, we're going to look at our world. Look around us. As your eyes move slowly from one object, notice now, one object to another, we're going to look at the objects in our perception, in our field of view. Look at the objects. Look at the bodies. Look at the body of another. So we're going to look at objects and we're going to look at a body of another. We're looking at people and objects. And as you and say this to yourself as you look around. I see only the perishable. I see nothing that will last. What I see is not real because it's the perishable, it will not last. What I see is a form of vengeance. At the end of each period, practice period, ask yourself, is this the world I really want to see? In our current state of thinking and seeing, really what we see are forms of vengeance all around us. Something to be attacked because we feel like there's a threat. And we have to protect ourselves. Well, who is ourselves? Body identification. Because in our true self, it doesn't need any protection. Who we really are as love and light and happiness, it doesn't need any protection because it cannot be threatened. Remember, that which is real cannot be threatened. That which is unreal does not exist. Our attack thoughts, the objects, the people we see. Are you picking up what's been put down here in lesson 22? Think about it. Is this the world I really want to see? That's how we're going to end our practice period, by saying, is this the world that I really want to see? The world of the perishable, the world of that has an end to it, the world that is not real, the world that is just full of vengeance. The answer is surely obvious. This is not the world that we choose to see. So obviously there's another way of seeing. There's another way of thinking. There's another way of seeing. And there's another way of responding other than by attack and vengeance. Think about it. This is the end of lesson 22. So, good lesson. So as you go through your day, pause 5 times a day for 1 minute. Look around you. And then make this core declaration. I see only the perishable. I see nothing that will last. What I see is not real, and what I see is a form of vengeance. And then end it with, is this the world I really want to see? Ask yourself the question. And we'll start to answer that question on tomorrow, lesson 23. Be blessed. Bye-bye.